All right, fellas, this is going to be a hopefully a no face in the movie day. And what we're going to do today, maybe you can see in the iPad screen. Oops. Maybe you can see in the iPad screen the stock positioning system website, SPS. And what they sell are these things. Just so happens the one on the screen is this one. This is the adjustable length of pull butt plate assembly for break open shotguns. We're going to be putting this on a Beretta 686 20 gauge over and under, and it takes a little bit of work, and hopefully we're going to show you guys how to do this today. Anyways, real quick, in the package you get some you get 2 Allen wrenches, that one's for the pad, one's for the adjustment here on the side. We have the mounting screws, and I guess I'll go over the pieces in a minute, but effectively this guy mounts on the back of here, and it allows us to twist and tilt the butt pad in any direction, as well as length of pull, so we can adjust the length of pull. So that's what we're going to work on today. We've already pulled the stock off the gun. We got it all taped up with masking tape, so we're going to have to go down to the chop saw, and we're going to remove about 3 inches off of this stock. The shooter is a lady shooter, and so we got to remove a bunch of wood in order to make this guy work. So we got it all taped up, and we did a 3-inch measure. We take our calipers and we go ahead and we scribe a line there. What's our 3-inch mark? We're going to go down to the chop saw, and we have a little bit of a jig that we make up in order to make this a nice clean squared cut. We're going to try to keep the pitch, which is this angle here, the same. We're not going to adjust the pitch at all, keep it identical. So we're just going to basically cut off 3 inches and keep everything the same. All right, fellas, we're back again. We're down here at the chop saw. We've taken a few minutes to go ahead and get everything set up with this awesomeness looking yellow DeWalt sliding whatever it is. Anyways, have to get a lot of things square. So first we had to go ahead and get this guy square this way. So we have some shims here and some shims here. We've accomplished that. The shims are both on supporting the piece that will remain. The cutoff piece does not have any shims under it per se. Then we go ahead and get square this way. So we're square both of those ways now. We have our line scribed, and we're going to cut on this side of the line, and it's 10 minutes of setup and 10 seconds of cut. So here we go, and we're going to make this cut. I'm going to put a firm hand on it, and I'm going to check real quick. Perfect. And here we go. I always let the saw stop as it's in the cut. That way, sometimes if you pick the saw up as it's cutting, it'll splinter the wood. So there's our cut, guys. Nice straight cut. There's always little twists and turns we have to contend with in these guys. The adjustable butt plate has this threaded rod, and that's actually a mechanism that allows the plate to be adjusted for length of pull. This has to be able to fit inside the stock, and we have a little bit too much wood in here. It won't quite go in, so we got to remove a little bit of wood inside this hole. So to do that, we are going to use just a Dremel, and we don't have to remove much, so we're just going to use a little sander, and we'll just buzz that out real quick, and there shouldn't be any problem. That was the sander. Sometimes they wear out and they pop off, but I think we got enough out of the hole in order to make this work. And it looks good. It looks good. Let's see how it fits in there. Ooh, boys, perfect. All right, so now we got a good fit. We can see that we're nice and flush, nice straight cut, no gaps, no cracks. You can see we went ahead and countersunk these holes a little deeper. Got that taper just right. So now we got we can get our screws to fit in nice and flush. Yes, we're good. So now we're flush where we need to be. So, you know, not a huge deal. It chiseled off a little bit of the finish. Not bad, just around the screws. It's not going to be an issue, but it would just be nice if they came correct. We have now got both of our holes drilled and threaded. Since we have this fresh cut here, I always like to throw a little bit of stain. And stain is not necessarily a sealant, but it is a little bit. And if you have time, it's good to stain it, as well as maybe put a coat of, you know, linseed oil, or, you know, because it's hidden. This is an oil finish stock. You could also put even a thin coat of poly back here, polyurethane. No one would know the difference, and it would keep the you know, if you're out shooting in the rain or the moisture, it would keep any of the elements out, and it would help the gun stock from swelling. So we're just trying to add a little bit of protection there. So now we got it protected, so that'll help out a little bit, and now we can shoot in the rain with this bad boy. All right, next we're going to go ahead and screw this on, make our final screw on here, and then we're going to go ahead and scribe our final line. We have the adjustable butt pad secured. The base plate at least is secured. This part will secure in a second. So we are secured, and we're in our final location. So now comes the daunting task of removing all this excess. And we're going to sand some, and we're also going to use our same DeWalt chop saw that we use to cut the wood with. Believe it or not, that saw is good for cutting non-ferrous materials. So, for instance, aluminum, we can go ahead and use that saw to get some of these big pieces off, and that's what we'll do next. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this super sharp scribe, we're going to gently scribe a line all the way around the stock, and that'll give us a mark to which we will grind to. Very similar to our butt pads that we do. And that is Clay Target Mom yelling at us to tell us that dinner is ready. The production studio is actually our house. But that was Mom. She can shoot and she can cook. Oh, there goes that wonderful line. I hear it scratching. Oh, you get back down at the chop saw, and we have our lines scribed, so we got to get rid of all this. Now this is a process you want to take slow and easy. There's no hurry, and it's probably a little bit dangerous as well. So that's why we take it slow and easy. Keep our fingers away from the blade, and here we go. This is a 2x42, and it's got an 8-inch disc on this side. And you can see we have the big pieces cut off, so now we're going to start working our way down. So here we go, fellas. All right, fellas, we're getting real close. We're using a coarse grit sanding disc. We're going to do a little bit more, and then we're going to put on a little bit finer, and we're going to work these scratches out as we go, and we'll get down to probably 300 grit, and it'll be nice and smooth then. You'll see that we still have this angle here, and that's the bottom contour of the stock. We want to keep that angle, and we'll work that down to the very end, and that'll be really the last thing that we do on this, is to get that final taper. But yes, it's looking good, guys, looking good. Alright fellas, we are just about done. We're going to take it in to the shop for a trial fit. But you can see the finish is starting to look real nice. I'll do the last little bit of sanding by hand with a real high grit to give it a polish. Okay, this looks good. So we knocked that top bump off and it fits super. We're perfect. So we're not going to do any more grinding on the adjustable plate. Now our next step is going to be to scribe this pad on from the plate and do our grinding. This pad's frozen. You know how I like to freeze my pads. So we get the frozen pad. We're going to go ahead and scribe it, and then we're going to grind the pad down. Okay, we're back with our frozen recoil pad. It's thawing quickly though. We've marked this line here that we care so much about. This is our angle of the bottom of the stock. We want to make sure that angle continues throughout the butt pad as well, because it makes it look good visually to the eye. We've scribed our lines, and we've also used our marker to have our rough cut. So we're going to go ahead and start grinding this bad boy down. Done grinding the pad, and if I might say so myself, perfect. Nailed it. So we nailed it. It looks great. So we have a great taper. We're going to go slap it on the gun, make sure our taper is good, but it appears that it's good, and everything is accordingly. You know, the only one little thing that I have an issue with, and I'll talk to the SPS people, they have this nice little SPS stamp on the inside, and when you grind it down, the S got chowdered off a little bit, and you see a little bit of a chowder mark right there, so it kind of interrupts that finish. It'd be nice if that SPS was, you know, stamped up here somewhere, closer to the internals. That way you wouldn't have to see that chowder mark right there. So, but nothing huge, just a little cosmetic flaw. Coming down the home stretch here, all we're going to do is just clean up a little bit with some cleaner, but we got the fit and finish looking pretty darn good. We're going to go ahead and put it back on the receiver, and we need to adjust it to a 13 1/2 inch length of pull, and we'll be able to see how this now will expand out to give us that length of pull. So yeah, it looks nice. Well, we wrapped her up, boys. Our SPS stock positioning system, after a few little modifications that we had to do, turned out quite well. Hopefully you can see the lady who's going to be using this is a good friend of mine, and her length of pull needed to be 13 1/2 inches. So we actually had to cut off quite a bit of the buttstock to get it where we need it. And so we have it right now at 13 1/2 inches length of pull. This will allow her for wintertime shooting. We have about 3/8 of an inch or so of adjustment. We can reduce that length of pull, so when she's wearing heavy jackets and whatnot, it'll fit her in the wintertime, and then it'll fit her perfect in the summertime as well. So the good thing about these SPS systems, it allows us to adjust this butt pad to fit in that crease of the shoulder. So you see the little bit of a cant we have at an angle. And the one thing I do like about SPS, which the other guys don't seem to have right now, is this black anodized finish. So it's silver on the outside where you sand it down, but when you turn it, you get a nice black finish. Looks kind of cool, kind of sexy in there. Don't love where this stamping is right here. Remember, it made this little chowder mark here. Not a big deal. It could be in a little deeper, but I think all in all, it's a very nice product, and I would not hesitate to use it again. So I give them a 5-star rating, and if you feel like taking one of these on, give these guys a call, SPS, and they were very friendly, very helpful, and very fair price for their stock positioning systems, and it really works good for women and children, even men too. But I think I might get one for my daughter's gun, and that'll allow her to me not to have to sand so many stocks down. I can just grow it as she gets older. Little Dirty might like that. All right, hope you enjoyed this little how-to, and any questions, feel free to put them in the comments below. And if you haven't yet, go down there and hit that subscribe button, and help us grow as a community. But I just wanted to back up and share with you the conversation that I just had with Mr. Joe Leone. I'm assuming he is owner or partner in the Stock Positioning Systems company up in New York. And let me tell you, solid individual. Explained to him the little issue that we had with these wood screws being too large in diameter for the holes that were in the aluminum butt plate. We just got the wrong screws. Not a big deal. Of course, as most U.S. companies go, he said, "Listen, I'll make it right. I'll send you whatever you need." So he's just a fantastic guy, and I told him that we already got it fixed and it looks fantastic. So just as I suspected, we had a little issue, but these guys stand behind their products, and the kind of people that I enjoy dealing with. So we at Clay Target Life are, even though we purchased this, we're going to go ahead and recommend them. We're going to say that it's something that we're going to do more of. We're going to use them more. We're going to put them on Little Dirty's gun and Big Dirty's gun, and you know, there's nothing wrong with good American-made products, and we support that. So anyways, give these guys a call. Stock Positioning Systems. They're up in New York, and tell them that Clay Target Life sent you. Joe is a fantastic individual, and he's really good at walking you through. If you have any issues or any problems, if you want to install this yourself, he's a plethora of information, and he loves to talk about his stuff. So don't feel like you're bugging him, because he will love to walk you through any issues that you may have, or guidance for installation. And hey Joe, look at this angle. See, we did it just like you said. As we always do. Clay Target Life's got to feed the chicken.